Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, we will not carry coals.
No, for then we would be colliers.
I mean, and we be in collar will draw.
And while you live, draw your neck out of collar.
I strike quickly being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague shall move me.
To move is to stir, to be valiant is to stand, therefore if thou move, thou rest away.
A dog of the house shall move me to stand. I'll take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That just shows thee a weak slave, only the weakest go to the wall.
'Tis true, 'tis true. Therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall.
But the quarrel is between our masters and us, the men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I fought with the men, I'll be civil with the maids. I'll cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They'll take it in the sense of that they feel it.
Me they shall feel while I'm able to stand. 'Tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
Tis well that you're not fish, but if thou wert, they'd be poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two from the house of Montague.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How, by turning my back and running?
Fear me not.
Oh, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our side, or let them begin.
I shall frown upon them as we pass, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I? No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kids.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Oh, troth, you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Hearts, fools, put up thy swords, you know not what you do.
What? Art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at me, coward!
Go!
Down with the Capulet!
Down with the Montagues!
What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho!
A crutch! Why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say! Old Montague's come and flourishes his blade in spite of me!
Thou villain Capulet!
Enemies of peace! Profaners of this... Will they not listen? What ho! You men! You beasts! Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel! On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred by an airy word, by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For now, all the rest depart away. Capulet, come you with me. Montague, come you this afternoon, to hear our further pleasure in this case, to Old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart!
Who brought this ancient quarrel new approach? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary and yours, close fighting, ere I did approach. I drew to part them, and in the instance came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, and where is Romeo? Saw him you today?
The troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, and so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning has he there been seen, but all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from around Aurora's bed. Away from light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chambers pens himself. He shuts up the windows, locks fair daylight out, and creates himself an artificial night.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counselor, is to himself, and I will not say how true. But should we learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as no.
See where it comes. So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance here be much tonight. Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But noon struck 9.
Ay me. Sad hours seem long. Is that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that, which having makes them short.
In love?
Out,
Of love?
out of her favor, for I am in love. Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eye see pathways to his will. He has much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep. That is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuss. I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke, raised with a fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, cousin.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
What? Shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why, no, but sadly do tell me who.
She will not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed, from love's weak childish bow, she lives uncharmed.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste?
She hath, and in her sparing makes huge waste. She's too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow, do I live dead, that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite in question more. He that is strucken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
But in saying all what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in this world. She has not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
Too soon martyred, oh, so early made. The earth has swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle powers, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, to whom I have invited many a guest whom I do love. And you among the store, one more most welcome, make my number more. Here all see, and like her most, whose merits most shall be, which on one more view of many, my being one, may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Come go with me. Sirrah, go you, trudge about through fair Verona. Find those persons out whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
I am sent to find those names whose here hath writ, but cannot find the names of the writing person. I must learn in good time.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented and... Good evening, good fellow.
Good evening. I pray you, sir, can you read?
Aye, my own fortune and my misery.
Perhaps you learned without a book. Can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Ye must you marry.
Stay, good fellow, I can read. Mercutio and his cousin Valentine, mine uncle Capulet and his wife and daughters, the fair Rosaline, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up
Whither? To supper?
to our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Well, I must ask you this. My master is the great rich Capulet. And if you are not of the house of Montagues, then you must come and crush a cup of wine with us. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosaline whom thou so lovest. Compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than thy love? The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Tut, you saw her fair. None else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye, but in that crystal scale let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in the splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Oh, I'm my maiden that I did bid her come at 12-year-old. What lamb? What ladybird? Oh, God forbid, where's this girl? Mistress! Juliet! Juliet!
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
I'm here, madam. What is your will? Oh, this is a matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Oh, nurse! Come back. I have remembered me. Thou know my daughter of a pretty age?
Oh, faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
Oh, she's not 14.
Oh, how long is it to Lammastide?
Well, a fortnight and odd days.
Well, on Lammastide in the evening she shall be 14, that she shall be. Mary, I remember it well. For then, since the earthquake, it is 11 years, and then she were weaned. Oh, for I had put wormwood to the nipple of my dog, and when she tasted it, pretty fool, to see her get touchy, fall out with the dog, then shake quoth the dove house. 'Twas no need to bid me trudge, I trow. And since that time it is 11 years. For then she could have stood alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke a brow. Oh, and my husband, God rest his soul, he was a merry man. He took up the child. Yes, quoth he. Dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Julian? Oh, by my holy name. She left off crying and said, I. To see how a jest shall come about.
Oh, enough of this, I pray thee. Will you hold thy peace?
Yes, madam, yes. One cannot help but laugh to see the child leave off crying and say, I. Instant it said, I.
Instant thou too, I pray thee, nurse. Say I.
Oh, yes, peace, I have done. Oh, madam, heaven bless you. Thou wast the prettiest babe ere I nursed, and I should live to see thee married if I had my wish.
Oh, Mary, that Mary is the very theme I come to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married? It's an honor I dream not of.
Oh, an honor. Why, if I were not thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from my teeth.
Well, think of marriage now. Here in Verona, ladies of esteems are made already mothers. Oh, by my count, I was your mother much upon these years, that you are now a maid. Thus, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, a man? A man such as all the world, why, oh, he's a man of wax.
Verona summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, a flower, a very flower.
Tonight you shall behold him at our feast, and you can read over the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Oh, this precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory, that in cold glass locks in the golden story. Oh, so shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him making yourself no less.
No, not less, bigger. For women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move, but no more deeper will I endart mine eye, than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madams, the guests have arrived. I beseech you, follow me straight.
Oh, we follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Oh, girl, seek happy nights to happy days.
Shall we on without apology? The date is out of such prolixity.
We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf, bearing a Tartar's painted bow of laugh, scaring the ladies like a crow-keeper. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
I can't. Believe me, I have a soul of lead so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
But you are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common
I
bound.
am too sore and pierced with this shaft. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great an oppression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, then be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat it down. Give me a case for my visage, a visor for my visor. What care I what curious eye doth code deformities? Here are the beetle brows that shall blush for me.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in that every man be taken to his legs.
A torch for me, I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain, like lights by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that air, once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mass, but 'tis no wit to go.
And why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed? Asleep while they do dream things true.
Ah, I see Queen Mab hath been with you.
Queen Mab, what's she?
She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman. drawn with a little team of animi or men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes are long spinner's legs. Her colours are the wings of grasshoppers. The smallest traces of spider's web. Her hollows are the moonshine's watery beams. Her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner is a small grey-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the Jorna squirrel or old grub. Time out of mind, the fairies' coachmakers. But in this state, she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees, who dream on curtsies straight. Or lawyers' fingers, who straight dream on fees. Or ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream. Which off the angry mad, with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes, she drives over a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. Sometimes she comes to the typing sale, tickling the nose of a parson as he lies asleep. Then dreams he of another benefice. But sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck. Then dreams he of cutting Spanish throats, of breeches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of hells 5 fathoms deep. And then anon, drums in his ears, in which he starts and wakes. Being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and then sleeps again. This is the man that plates the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the oak oxen, foul, sluttish hairs, which once untangled, much misfortune bodes. Yes, this is the hag, that when maids lie on their backs, presses them, and learns them first to bear, making the women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talkest of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air, and as inconsistent as the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being thus ended, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves.
Supper is done, and we shall come too late. I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence hanging about in the stars that shall bitterly begin his fearful date with the night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike drum!
Welcome, gentlemen and ladies who have their toes. My mistresses, which if you on played with corns, shall walk about with you this night. What? Will you not dance? I swear she who makes a dainty, she has corns. And I come near you now. Gentlemen, welcome. I've seen the day I have worn a visor, and I could tell a whispering tale in a lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. Welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play.
What is the lady that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
She doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night, like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart not love till now forswear its sight? I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, is a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What? Dares a slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe. A villain that has come hither in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that's villain Romeo.
Consent thee, gentle cause. Let him alone. He bears himself like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, Verona brags of him as being a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for all the wealth in this town, in my house, do him disparagement. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, if thou respect it, show fair presence, and put off those frowns. Oh, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It is fitting when such a villain is a guest. I will not endure him.
You shall endure him. Am I the master here, or you? Oh, he shall not be endured. Oh, God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Ah, go to, you are a saucy boy. Ah, is it so, my friends? This trick may stands to scathe thee. Ah, merrily, my heart, you be quiet, or I will make you quiet. Yo, go and cock. Oh, gentlemen.
Patience, perforce with willful collar meeting, makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much. What mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, good pilgrim, lips that should be used in prayer.
Then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints don't move, but grant for prayer's sake.
And move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from thy lips thy sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin they took?
Sin from thy lips? O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Married bachelor. Her mother's the lady of the house, and a wise and a generous lady, and very goodly. I nursed her that you talked withal, and he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, begone, the sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Oh, nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. I have a trifling foolish banquet. Is even so? Well, then, gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, honorable gentlemen. Good night.
Come hither, nurse. Who is yon gentleman that little dance?
Oh, I don't know.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is likely to be my wedding bed.
He is Romeo, and a Montague, and the only son of your great enemy.
My only love? Sprung from my only hate? Too early seen unknown, unknown too late. What prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I should love a loathed enemy?
How come? Anon, anon. The guests have all gone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here?
Romeo! My cousin Romeo! Romeo!
On my life, he had stolen himself home to bed.
He ran this way and left the orchard wall. Call him, Mercutio.
Hey, we shall conjure too. Romeo, humor, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but I me, and pronounce but love and dove. He heareth not, he moveth not, and he stirreth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her fair foot, her straight leg and quivering thigh, and in the demon that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This does not anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle, though she had conjured it and laid it down. Oh, but that was some spite. My invocation is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name I conjure only to raise him up.
Come, he hath hid himself amongst these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
Aha, but if love be blind, then it cannot hit the mark. And now you will sit under a medlar tree and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, oh, that she were! Oh, that she were an open arse, and thou a pauper and pear! This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, the light through yonder window breaks. He is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, for she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres. What if her eyes were there, and they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head as a winged messenger of heaven unto the white upturned wandering eyes that gaze upon him as he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Thou wilt not. You but sworn my love. I will no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What is Montague? It is neither hand nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Would not Romeo then, if Romeo not be Romeo called, maintain that dear perfection which he owes without that title? O Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou, thus bescreened in night, so stumblest upon my counsel?
By a name. I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know this sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How did you find this place, and wherefore? The orchard walls, they are high and hard to climb, and the place is dead, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen were to find thee here.
With love's light wings did I approach these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love may do that dares love attempt, therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
Would not for the world they found thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. And if thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death heroic wanting of thy love.
Thou knowest the mask of night is upon my face, for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love me? In faith, true Montague, I am too fond, and therefore you may think me strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but you overheard my true love's counsel, ere I was ware. So pardon me, gentlemen, and don't take this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, that tips with silver all these fruit treetops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon ever changing in her monthly orb, lest thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou must swear, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry. I will believe thee.
If my heart's dear love.
Oh, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I joy not in this contract tonight. It's too rash, too sudden. Good night, good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction can thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy faithful vow for mine.
I gave it before thou did request it. Yet I were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it?
No, but to be frank and to give it to thee again. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I have, the more I give to thee. For both are convenient.
Blessed night, I am afeard being in night. All this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, Romeo, and good night indeed. If thy love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, and then all my fortunes I will lie at thy feet, and follow you, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
But if you do be untrue, I do beseech thee, anon and come, to stop thy strife, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love, as schoolboys from their books. But love from love toward school with heavy looks. Oh, but silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo.
My sweet,
What hour tomorrow should I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did send thee back.
Oh, let me stand here till thou remember it.
I will only forget again, knowing how much I love your company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, but no more farther than a wanton's bird would I let up a little from my hand.
Oh, would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I, but I would kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I should say good night, till it be morrow.
Sleep, dwell in thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence, I will go to my ghostly sister's close cell, her help to crave, and my dear hap to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light. I must fill up this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb. What is her burying? Grave, that is her womb. From her children and from her womb, children of diverse kind, we, sucking on her natural bosom find, many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs and plants and stones and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometime may action dignified. Within this infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this being smelt, with that part cheers each part, but tasted saves all senses of the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as earth, grace and well. And where the worser is predominant, will soon take her pet that means I've got left.
Good morrow, sister.
London City. What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head to so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art outrose by some distemperature. Or, if not so, and there I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true, the sweeter rest was mine.
Oh, God, pardon sin!
What's that with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, ghostly sister? No. I have forgot that name and all that name's woe.
Oh, that's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou asketh me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed woman, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds, but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know that my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of the rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combine, save what thou must combine with holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, this I pray, thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis, what changes here? Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. How much salt water was thrown away in waste to season love that of it doth not taste. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If ever thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me oft for loving Rosaline?
No, for doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badest me bury love.
Oh, not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide not. Her I love now. Doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote, that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Let us go hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow they stumbled that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home last night?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, that torments him so, he will surely run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master how he dares, being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, shot through the ear with a love song. But is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
Oh, more than the king of cats. He's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeping time, distance, and proportion. He rests his minimum rests, 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. He's the very butcher of the silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the first and second cause of the first order. The immortal passano, the punto reverso, and the high.
The what?
The pox of such lisping phantasminds, these new tuners of accents. By Jesus, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good horse. Why not now? Is this a lamentable thing, that we should be afflicted by such strange flies, these fashion mongers, these hommes, who stand so much on the new form that they cannot sit at ease on the old bench? Oh, they're bones, they're bones!
Here comes Romeo.
Here comes Romeo.
Signor Romeo, bonjour. There is a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit last night.
Morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, but my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much to say. In a case such as yours, constrains a man to bow in the hand.
Meaning to courtesy?
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower?
Right.
Well then is my pump well flowered.
Sure wit, follow me now this jest, till thou hast worn out thy pump. Till but the single soldier is worn, the jest may remain, for the wearing solely singular.
Oh, single-souled jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Oh, come between us, Benvolio, my wits faints.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Nay, for if our wits are on the wild goose chase, then I am done. Thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am sure I have in my whole 5. Was I not there with you for the goose?
Thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast never there for the goose.
I should bite thee by the ear for that remark.
Oh, nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is a very bitter sweeting. It is a most sharp sauce.
Is it not well served into a sweet goose?
Why not now? Is this better than groaning for love? Now thou art sociable. Now thou art Romeo. Now thou art what thou art. By art as well as by nature. All this groveling for love is like a great natural that runs, lolling up and down to hide his bubble in a hole.
Stop there.
But thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou wouldst also make thy tail large.
Oh, thou art deceived. For I had come to the depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear.
A sail.
A fan to hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face.
God, you good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye goodeen, gentlewoman.
Is it goodie?
'Tis no less, for I tell you the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of doom.
Oh, out upon you! What a man are you?
Oh, one good gentlewoman that God hath made himself to mark.
Oh, it is well said, himself to mark, quoth he. Gentlemen, can you tell me where I might find the young Romeo?
I can tell thee, but young Romeo will be much older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yea, is the worst well. Very well took, I faith. Wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire confidence with you.
She will inditing us of supper.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Lady.
I pray you, sir, who was that was so full of his own roguery?
A gentleman, nurse. One that likes to hear himself talk. And he will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, and I'll take him down, and he were lustier than he was. Scurvy knave. I pray you, sir, my lady did bid me inquire you out. But what she bid me say, I shall keep to myself. For if you should be leading her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the lady is young, and if you should deal double with her, why, it is a very ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and a very weak dealing.
Commend me to thy lady and mistress. I do protest unto thee.
I shall, and she will be a very joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me?
Well, I will tell her that you do protest what I take it to be a gentlemanly offer.
Then bid her devise some means to shrift this afternoon. There she shall, at Sister Lawrence's cell, be shrived in marriage. Here's for thy pains.
Oh, truly, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
Oh, this afternoon she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. My man will be with thee within the hour, and bring thee cords made of tackled stairs, which, to the high-top gallant of my joy, must be my convoy in this secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains.
Oh, God bless you, sir. Oh, hark ye.
What sayest thou, nurse?
Is your man's secret? For did you ne'er hear say, two may keep counsel by putting one away?
Warrant thee, my man's as true as steel.
Oh, well, my lady, why, she's the sweetest little, oh, one true little pretty thing. Oh, there is one nobleman in Paris that would fain lay knife aboard, but she would leave to see a toad, a very toad as to see him. Why, sometimes I anger her and tell her that Paris is the proper man. But I'll warrant when I do say so, her face turns as pale as any clout in the versal world.
Commend me to thy lady.
I 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. It's not so. Oh, she is lame. If she had warm affections and youthful blood like me, she'd be swift in motion as a ball. But old folks, many faint as if they were dead. Heavy, slow, pale, and unwieldy, slow like lead. She comes! Oh, honey, nurse, what news? Oh, no, why dost thou look as sad? If news be sad, yet tell it merrily. If it be merry, thou sourest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
Ay, me. Oh, fie, my aching bones. Ooh, what a bones have I?
I wish you had my bones and I thy news. Sweet, sweet nurse, speak, speak, speak.
Oh, Jesu, what haste. Can you not stay a while? Can you not see that I am out of breath?
Out of breath? How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to tell me that thou art out of breath? The delay you make in this excuse is longer than the tale it does excuse. Oh, please tell me, what says my Romeo?
Oh, madam, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he. Though his face be better than any man, he's not the flower of courtesy. Though he's as gentle as a lamb. What, have you dined at home?
Yes, but all this I knew before. What does he say of our marriage?
Oh,
what is that?
Oh, Lord, what a head. Oh, what a head have I. Oh, it beats to it would fall in 20 pieces. And my back. My back the other side. Oh, my back. Oh, be true your heart for sending me about. Catch my death of jaunting up and down.
Sweet, sweet nurse, I'm sorry thou art not well, but please tell me, what says my Romeo?
Oh, well, Romeo says like a kind and a courteous and a virtuous and a handsome and a wise. Oh, where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? Your love, like a kind gentleman, says, where is your mother?
Mary, you're so hot. I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward you shall do your messages yourself.
You're such a goyle. What says my Romeo?
Oh, and we got leave to go to Shrift this afternoon.
I have.
Well, hie you hence to Sister Lawrencelle. There you shall find a husband to make you a wife. Oh, here comes the wanton blood in your cheeks. Woo, you'll be scarlet straight to Diddy News. Hie you to church. I must another way, the witch to fetch you a ladder, that your love will climb a birdhouse when it is darker. Oh, I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to your cell.
That's a good fortune. Honest nerve. Farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, but after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands in holy words, then let love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may call her mine.
These violent deaths have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately, long loved also. Too swift arrives, as tardy as too slow. Oh. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light of foot, will never outwear that everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamers that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall. So light is vanity.
Good evening, my ghostly confessor.
Oh, Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
Well, unless the thanks be too much.
Juliet, the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and thy skill be more to blaze on it. Sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and that rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than words, brags of substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up half the sum in my wealth.
Come with me, and we shall make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two as one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets are abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. For now these hot days is a mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, clasps me his sword on the table and says, God send me no need for thee. Yet upon the operation of the second cup, he draws it on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come. Thou art as hot in thy mood as any in Italy, and is soon moved to be moody, and is soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Yes, there were two once, but there should be none soon, because one would kill the other. Didst thou not have a fallout with the tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? And yet with another for tying his new shoes with old ribbon? And thou wouldst suit of me for quarreling.
And I were so apt to quarrel as thou art. Any man could buy the fee of my life simple for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple? How simple?
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Good evening, gentlemen. A word with one of you.
And but a word with one of us. Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort? What? Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou wouldst make minstrels of us. Look to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunts of men. Either withdraw to some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure eye.
Well, peace be on you, sir. Here comes my man.
Ha! But I'll be hanged, sir, if he were to wear your livery. Come, take him before the field. He'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain I am none. Therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but loved thee more than thou canst devise, till thou knowest the reason of thy love. And so, good Capulet, whose name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. All the staccato carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats. Nothing, but one of your 9 lives. I mean to make bold withal. and as you would use me hereafter, drive eat the rest of the 8. Come, will you pluck your sword out of its pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am.
For you, gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up!
Come, sir, your passado.
Gentlemen, for shame! Oh, that is outrage! Tybalt! Mercutio! The prince expressly hath forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt! Good Mercutio!
Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, I will plague of both your houses. Oh, I'm spent. Is he gone and hath nothing?
Art thou hurt?
Aye. Ah, 'tis but a scratch. A scratch. Where's my page? Go, villain! Fetch a surgeon!
Courage, man. The hurt cannot be much.
Nay, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor as broad as the church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. And peppered, I want for this world sounds a dog, a mouse, a rat, a cat, to scratch a man to death, a braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I should faint. I have it. Soundly, too. It worms me to me. Oh, your houses!
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath had his mortal hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained by Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, who but an hour ago had been my kinsman. Oh, Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate. In my temper, has softened valor's steel.
Romeo, great Mercutio is dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on most days doth depend. This but begins the woes, others must end.
Here comes imperious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fiery-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take back the villain that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, and by thine shalt keep him company. Either thou or I or both shall go with him.
Thou wretched boy, the distant source of ear! Shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that!
gods are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed. The prince will do thee death if thou art taken. Hence be gone away. Oh, I am fortune's fool. Why dost thou stay? Go.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Oh, Prince! Oh, Tybalt! Husband! The blood is shed of my dear kinsman. Oh, Prince, as thou art true, oh, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay, but Romeo that spoken fair bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered cannot take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who all is hot turns deadly point to point. And Romeo, he cries aloud, hold, friends, friends, part! And swifter than his tongue betwixt them rushes underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by he comes back to Romeo with but newly entertained revenge. And to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth. Or let Benvolio die.
No, he is a kinsman to the Montagues. Affection makes him false. Oh, he speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all 20 could kill but one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew Tybalt? He slew Mercutio? Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo. He was friend to Mercutio. His fault concludes, but what the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, we do exile him hence from Verona. I have an interest in your hate's proceedings. My blood, for your rude brawls, doth lie a-bleeding. But Isle of Mercy was so strong a fine. You shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleadings and excuses. Nor tears, nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste from Verona. Else when he is found, that hour is his last.